Welcome to Game 3 of Day 2 of the 2019 MIAA Baseball Championship. This afternoon, we'll be taking off against the number 2 seeded Missouri Southern State University Lions, the number 3 seed Central Oklahoma Broncos. I'm Shelby White. Both of these teams won their first contest yesterday in rather easy fashion. The Broncos defeated the Lindenwood Lions by a score of 3-0. Meanwhile, the Lions defeated the Northwest Missouri State Bearcats by a score of 4-0. Leading things off for the Broncos in the top of the first is TJ Black. He is facing off against the Lions starting pitcher Will Balzinger. And very quickly, Black is up in the count, 2 balls and no strikes, rounding out the rest of the Central Oklahoma Bronco batting order. It'll be the center fielder Brock Rumier, 2-0 fouled away. Center fielder Brock Rumier, the third baseman Philip Scott, designated hitter Kyle Crowell is batting cleanup. Batting fifth, Joe Mondragon, the first baseman. Batting sixth, the left fielder Taylor Avila. Batting seventh, the catcher TJ McWhirter. Batting eighth, the right fielder Drew Barrier. And batting ninth, the shortstop Ryan Harrell, with Gabe Littlejim in on the bump for the Broncos. Count now 2-2. Foul ball deep down the line and left. The 2-2. That'll be grounded to second. There it is, picked up and thrown over to first by Swims, excuse me. So just like that, there's one out in the top of the first. Ground ball right to Swims. And did a nice job of getting his base wide and setting himself up to throw it over to first. So now the center fielder Brock Rumier will dig in, and he swings well early and over the top of that first off-speed pitch. That was delivered by Balzinger. The 0-1, that'll be grounded once again to Swims, who grabs it with 2 hands and over to first for the second out of the inning. So 2 outs have been right to Swims at second, getting a lot of action early. Defensively for the Lions, it's Balzinger and John Layton, the battery. At first, it's Matt Miller. Second, Dexter Swims. Shortstop, Denver Coffey. Third base, Freddie Landers. Left field, Ryan Hunter. Center field, Mike Millian. And right field, Troy Gagan. The 1-0 to to Philip Scott. Misses, makes it 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 on the way. Check swing. They appeal down to first, and no swing, said the umpire. Right-handed pitcher Balzinger is pitching from the first base side of the rubber. Now it's sent into right center field, putting up his glove to fight the sun and shield his eyes is Gagan, but he'll cede control to Millian, the center fielder, who grabs it for the third out of the inning. 1-2-3 go the Broncos in the top of the first. At the end of half an inning, it's Central Oklahoma 0, Missouri Southern coming up back after this with more baseball here on the MIAA Network.
We've got our heads in the game,
our minds in the classroom,
our hands in the community,
and our feet ready for the world.
We're a part of the NCAA Division II experience.
Using our skills
at our universities and in our communities. I chose the MIAA.
I chose the MIAA.
MIAA, the spirit of our communities.
These are your teams, your players, your community of fans. This is where they play, where they practice, where you cheer. At every meet, every event, every game. Your community is passionate, dedicated, supportive. You know the tension of a close game and the thrill of the win. So while you're cheering, keep an eye out for anything out of the ordinary. If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
It was a quick top of the first for the Broncos. They went down 1-2-3, courtesy of the right arm of Will Balzinger. Now at the bottom of the first, the Missouri Southern Lions will have a chance to get their offense going. Leading things off for the Lions will be the center fielder Mike Million. On the circle for Central Oklahoma is Gabe Littlejim, right-hand pitcher. So he also standing on the right first base side of the rubber. Mike Million, the center fielder, leading things off for the Lions. Right-handed hitter, and he'll watch strike one go right down the chute. Not much more you could ask for in a pitch to hit than that one, as it was right down the plate. The 0-1. Low, ball one. Curveball just a little low. Defensively, for Central Oklahoma, it's Littlejim and TK McWhirter as the battery. First to third, you have Joe Mondragon, TJ Black, Ryan Harrell at short, Philip Scott. In left field to right field, Taylor Avila, Brock Rumier, and Drew Barrier. 2 balls and 1 strike. That one also a bit low. 3 balls and 1 strike, and Broncos in the dugout a little frustrated early in the goings. The 3-1. That's line right back up the middle. A leadoff single for Million and the Lions. You get in a 3-1 count, and you can basically have your selection of pitches to swing at. And Million didn't miss with that one. Drove it right back up the chute, just to the left of Harrell, the shortstop, and out of Harrell's reach. So now John Layton, the catcher, will step in. See how Littlejim can work from the stretch. First pitch is in there for a strike. Holding the runner at first is Mondragon, trying to limit the lead of Million. Step and throw inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Defense straight away for the Broncos, and guarding against John Layton, who is a .310 hitter on the year, who has hit 4 home runs. On the middle of the infield, and they're setting up for a double play. See the runner over the first Million, rather short lead. Kick and throw, ground ball. Harrell has it. He's going to step on second himself, throw over to first. And in time, they say. Picked up on the back end by Mondragon. It's a 6-3 double play. Pitcher's best friend right there. And now it'll limit what the Lions can do going forward. Million went hard into second, you saw right there, trying to break up the double play, but was unable to do so. So the batter will be Freddie Landers. .348 batting average on the year with 11 home runs. Ball away. 1 ball and 1 strike now on Landers. And it looked like Littlejim might have had a stressful inning, but Harrell showing some nice leather, bailing out his pitcher with that double play. And he made the right decision there to not underhand it to his second baseman, Black, who was there. Instead, just to kick the bag himself and then go. The 1-2 on the outside corner, and Landers is going to go down looking. So Littlejim gives up a single, but he faces the minimum. 1, 2, 3, go the Lions to the top of the second. Still no score. Back after this on the MIAA Network.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Top of the second, no score between Central Oklahoma and Missouri Southern. Missouri Southern gets the first hit of the game, but a double play negates that. Now Kyle Crowell, designated hitter, will lead things off for the Broncos. In the top of the second, takes a strike. Dealing against the right-hander, Bausinger. The 0-1 is fouled well out of play. Running over to give it a brief look was Miller, the first baseman, but there wasn't a chance of it staying fair. So now we'll see how the Crowell can do with two strikes, and he'll take the 0-2, send it out to shallow right center, and coming across from right field is Gagan, and that is the first out of the inning. Crowell did a decent job there of putting bat on ball, but got underneath it too much, and it hung up there for Gagan to get over and make the play. So now it'll be Joe Mondragon. He singles the first pitch he sees into right field. Not a chance for Miller or Swims to react and try and keep it on the infield. It's a one-out single for Mondragon, and we will have no perfect game seen today. Beautiful piece of hitting. Got the barrel of the bat ahead of the ball, able to punch it through the hole. I'll bring up the left fielder, Taylor Avila. Curveball in the dirt, bounces, but nice block by Layton. We'll get to see how Bausinger can handle being in the stretch and the early goings. The 1-0 is in there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bausinger with a unique stretch as he'll start level, and then when he comes set, he opens himself up. Of course, that allows him to swing his leg around for a slide step just a little bit easier to go to home, and the slide step eliminates the amount of time that a runner has to try and steal second. Ball yanked foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bausinger will check Mondragon at first and then strike out Avila. Going down swinging, can't catch up to the fastball on the inside corner of the plate. You can see there, Avila tried to jack his hands in or to try and go the other way, but was unable to do so successfully. First strikeout of the game for Bausinger. Now the batter will be T.K. McWhirter, the catcher for Central Oklahoma. Fastball just off the outside corner. Ball 1. Crisp uniforms worn by Missouri Southern. Nice cream with hunter green for the letters and numerals, as well as the piping. Throw over to first, diving back in safely is Mondragon. Meanwhile, a much more modern look for Central Oklahoma, as you can see there a little bit on the close-up for Mondragon. A navy background with navy letters and numerals outlined in mustard yellow. Will be 1-0. Just inside 2-0. Completing the ensemble for Central Oklahoma. Nice gray pants. 2-0 the count on McWhorter. Defense straight away, wind blowing in from right now. The 2-0. That's yanked down the line and left. Running over to give it a look is Hunter, and he will make the catch in fair territory for out number 3. So the Broncos are able to get a 1-out single, but that's all. Can't even move him past the base. We played an inning and a half. The score is 0-0. Back after this with more baseball on the MIAA Network.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Here in the bottom of the second, score is 0-0. Both teams have one hit, and they have each stranded a runner. That's about it as far as anything noteworthy here in the early goings. This is Game 3 of Day 2 of the 2019 MIAA Baseball Championship. Had some phenomenal baseball played earlier today with both of the victors in the 2 earlier games winning via the 9th inning home run. And not a walk-off, as the 2 teams who won were the visitors. Lindenwood defeated Northwest Missouri State by a score of 4-3. A solo shot in the top of the 9th by Mitchell Krebs, won it for them. Meanwhile, Conrad Danley, a 3-run home run, won it for Missouri Western over Emporia State. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. And Troy Gagan goes down swinging on a foul tip into the mitt of McWhorter behind the plate. That's the 2nd consecutive strikeout registered by Little Jim. Climbing the ladder you saw there on Gagan, and Gagan could not catch up. Ball just below the knees, ball 1. Denver Coffey, the shortstop, is up. Coffey, a .277 hitter this year. He has 6 home runs, so he's got some pop to him, and he'll line the 0-1 pitch into, the 1-0 pitch into right field and be held to a 1-out single. And you can tell, you hear from our crowd mics, how much these games mean to these kids. MIAA, a hard-fought division in baseball, no different than other sports, where everyone fights and has a chance to win. Now, Alex Phillips will come up, and he sends it out of play just beyond third base over the new sporting complex built here at Al Ortolani Field for the Pittsburgh State Gorillas, where this is their home. Phillips will step in. A 6'2", 245-pound senior from Van Astelen, Texas. Came here to Missouri Southern courtesy of Kansas City, Kansas Community College. 1 ball and 1 strike now on the designated hitter. Runner at first is Coffey. Takes an average lead against Little Jim, who has a small leg kick. Ball in the dirt, swung on and missed, and then it's picked up by McWhirter. McWhirter got a little tangled up with Phillips, but not enough to have anything detrimental happen. Winner today will play tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Ball gets right by McWhirter into the backstop, and cruising into second with the wild pitch is Coffey. Didn't have to grind that one out to get to second. Able to just get there relatively stress-free, and he read it as soon as it was going on. He took off and was able to get to second base standing up. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Phillips. The shortstop, Harrell, trying to hold Coffey close. The 2-2 is a breaking ball that slips out of the hands of Phillip, out of Little Jim, and stays outside of Phillips. Runs the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The 3-2 fouled out of play. Meanwhile, the loser of this game, Central Oklahoma Missouri Southern, will take on Lindenwood tomorrow at 9 a.m., which is the 3rd consecutive 9 a.m. game that Lindenwood has had here at the 2019 MIAA Baseball Tournament. The 3-2 again fouled out of play. And Phillips doing a nice job spoiling off pitches close, forcing Gabe Littlejim to work hard to get the out. Littlejim looks right into his catcher McWhirter to get the sign. The 3-2 swung on and missed. Phillips swing over the top of a breaking ball. 3rd strikeout of the game for Littlejim. Take a look right here, and Phillips pulled his head and he put everything into that swing, and instead of looking at the pitcher, ended up looking down at the right field foul pole, so he came up empty. That'll bring up Dexter Swims, the second baseman. Swims a .340 hitter, very much a table setter. He'll watch strike 1 come through at the knees. Coffey, the runner at second, now being held by TJ Black, the second baseman. And a lot of times you see that in baseball because it's much easier for a batter to pull the ball than it is to go the opposite way. So you have the middle infielder on the same side as the hitter stay at home, and the opposite one hold the runner. No balls, 2 strikes. Littlejim looking into McWhirter. He gets the sign. He'll come set. Check Coffey at second. The pitch outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes, trying to get Swims to expand his zone again, and nothing doing. Coffey as a base runner, 6 of 6 on steal attempts. Hard to steal third, but might be able to do so. The 1-2 is sent high into the blue semi-cloud sky. Settling under it is the second baseman, Black, and he'll grab it with one hand to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, 1 runner left to the 3rd. Score is still 0-0. Back after this on the MIAA Network. top of the third. And the score remains 0-0. Lions did get a second hit in the bottom of the second, but that is all. Leading things off for the Broncos in the top third is the right fielder, Drew Barrier. He watches ball one miss, low and away. 9-1-2, it's Barrier, Harrell, and then Black. The 1-0 is fouled out of play. Makes it 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-1 on the way from Bosinger will be sent into center field. Millen will get over to it, cut it off, and hold Barrier to a leadoff single. Each team matching the other hit for hit right now. And a very short, compact swing by Barrier there allowed him to just shoot that ball into shallow center field in front of Million and over the shortstop Coffey. Ryan Harrell, the shortstop, will come up. He squares around the bunt, pulls the bat back, and will take a strike on the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike here. Throw over to first, diving back in is Barrier. Broncos looking to complete the tournament sweep as the Central Oklahoma softball squad won the 2019 MIAA softball championship. Another throw over to first, and once more diving back in is Barrier. No balls and 1 strike on Harrell. The 0-1, Harrell squares around, fakes the bunt, pull back, diving back into first is Barrier, and boy, oh boy, Missouri Southern is really worried about Drew Barrier taking off and heading to second. Not without reason, as he is 5'7" on steals, but Ryan Harrell's going to lay down the bunt on the 1-1 pitch, sacrificing himself to advance Barrier. That's the first out of the inning, and it's a great bunt. Bouncing it in the dirt, maybe a little too hard getting it to the pitcher, Bausinger, but he was able to get the job done, and that's all that matters. We'll head back to the top of the order, and TJ Black here. TJ Black watches strike 1 go by him. TJ Black, 287 hitter on the year. 39 hits, most of them singles. He does have 2 doubles and 3 triples, though. The 0-1 is sent to the shortstop Coffey. Throw over to first, and in time. Having to stretch on the backside was Miller, but he's able to do so and keep his foot on the bag. There are 2 outs in the inning. Advancing to third is Barrier, though. So Central Oklahoma has a possibility of taking a 1-0 lead here in this inning if Brock Rumier can find his way on. Rumier swings and misses at the first pitch that he sees. A .331 hitter is Rumier, and he's got some pop with 3 home runs. However, Rumier is really the player Missouri Southern needs to keep off the base paths. The 0-1 high, 1 ball, 1 strike. If Rumier gets on, you can almost guarantee he will take off for second. Runner there third is Drew Barrier, who led the inning off with a single. Has finally found his way over to third. The 1-1 popped up, running over toward Central Oklahoma dugout to give it a look is Miller, as well as the catcher Lighton, and it will go out of play. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Brock Rumier. Facing off against Beisinger. The 1-2 from Bosinger. Swung on and missed. And Brock Rumener will go down swinging for the third out of the inning. Just the second strikeout recorded by Bosinger this game, but it comes at a great time with a runner at third and 2 outs. Through 2.5, still no score. Back after these messages with more of the 2019 MIAA Baseball Championship here on the MIAA Network.
Label me.
You know you want to.
Don't be shy.
You do it behind my back.
So say it to my face. You don't know me. You know what I am?
I'm a pitcher.
I'm a striker.
I'm a point guard.
I'm a linebacker.
I'm a setter.
Shortstop.
High jumper.
Wrestler.
Defender.
Goalie.
Student.
Student athletes.
That's who we are.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
It's the bottom of the third, and leading things off for the Lions. It's the first baseman, Max Miller, 8-9-1 for the Lions, and Miller will slap the first pitch he sees into left field for a leadoff single. Both halves of the third. The leadoff batter is reached via single. However, for the Broncos, they were unable to capitalize. See if Missouri Southern can break through here with Ryan Hunter, the seventh left fielder up. He'll square around and do a late bunt attempt down the third baseline. And it's bunted foul. Strike one. Going back to first will be Miller. Hunter is a .257 hitter. He'll see strike two paint the black on the outside corner. Now he's going to have to be very careful about how he decides to proceed. The 0-2 from Little Jim, swung on and missed. Hunter challenged with a fastball, unable to rise to the occasion. That's the first out of the inning, as well as the fourth strikeout of the game for Gabe Littlejim. Head back to the top of the order with Mike Million, the batter. He singled back in the first, although he was cut down as part of a 6-3 double play, turned by Ryan Harrell. Ball one. Million on the season, a .274 batter with 44 runs scored. The 1-0, that's a big curveball, missing inside and also high. 2 balls, no strikes. Clouds continuing to roll across this blue sky day. Little Jim comes set a long look over at the runner Miller at first, and that'll have Million take the 2-0 pitch right into left field. 2 on with 1 out for the Lions. They might be smelling blood in the water at this point. Great base rip by Million, hitting it with such force that there was no shot of third baseman Scott even having an attempt to field it. Bring up John Layton, who grounded into a 6-3 double play to end, or back in the first, not necessarily to end it. Ball low to Layton from Little Jim. Black still the defender charged with holding the runner close at second. This time it's Miller. The 1-0, missing high, 2-0. Little Jim on the year. He's thrown 60 in the third innings, registered 64 strikeouts. And he has an ERA exactly at 3. 2-0, also missing. It's now 3-0. Runner at second, Miller. The runner at first, Millen. The 3-0 on the inside corner, strike one. After Layton, it'll be Freddie Landers. Little Jim watches in intently as McWhirter runs through the sides. He'll come set and have Layton soar it up onto the infield. Infield fly rule called. As with first and second and less than 2 outs, the batter is automatically out. Ball will be nabbed by Harrell, the second shortstop that you see right there. Came in from his shortstop position and grabbed it. Infield fly rule instituted in order to protect hitting teams from defenses getting cheap double plays where they let the pop fly hit the turf and then flip it around the horn for a quick double play. Freddie Landers watches a strike go by. Landers is a strikeout victim his last time up. He got punched out looking. The 0-1 grounded to third. And it's picked up by the third baseman, Scott, who then steps on the bag, and that will do it, ending the inning. So, for the Lions, they get 2 runners on with 2 base hits, but that's it. At the end of 3 innings, the score is 0-0. Back after this on the MIAA Network.
There are over 480,000 college athletes. Only 2% would go pro. That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs. No private jets. No fan clubs. No Hall of Fame inductions. Instead, they will walk away with something much more valuable.
Hasty Awards has been proud to be the official award supplier to the MIAA for 7 years, and we're happy to supply you and your organization with all your award needs. Whether you're ordering for your individual youth sports team or placing a custom medal order, we have you covered. As always, you have our lowest price guarantee, highest quality awards, exceptional service, and our hasty turnaround. We are ready to serve you for your next event, no matter how large or small. Hasty Awards is the #1 source for all your award and recognition needs.
It is the top of the 4th. Pitchers duel here. 6 hits scattered between both teams. Leading things off for the Broncos in the top of the 4th, Philip Scott, who flew out to center in the first to end the inning. Facing off for the second time against Will Bosinger. 1 ball and 1 strike against Scott. Now he'll watch ball 2 miss low and away. Right-handed hitter. 304 hitter on the year, and he'll swing be right on that pitch, but underneath it and foul it straight into the back netting. Also, Scott, 4 home runs this season. Bosinger, a very long look into his catcher late in the 2-2. There's a fastball at the top of the zone, and Scott can't believe it. He was stepping out, going to stretch and get prepared for the next pitch, and that's right there at the letters. You could see that as soon as he was turning back in and he saw the ball being thrown around the infield, he was in shock that he was rung up but he was. That's out number 1. And designated hitter Kyle Crowell strides to the box. Crowell also flew out to center. That was in the 2nd inning. It's 2 balls and no strikes on Bausinger. Excuse me, on Crowell from Bausinger. Bausinger thrown 82 innings on the year. Strikeout pitcher, having notched over 100. And a respectable ERA at 3.29. 3-0 incoming. On the inside corner, strike 1. After Crowell, it'll be Joe Mondragon, the first baseman. The 3-1 swung on and missed. Crowell had a pitch that he thought he could handle, but instead comes up empty. Vitally important to win the game today, as it keeps you not only out of the loser's bracket, but also sets you up to where you only need to win 1 game a day to win a championship. And a ground ball up the middle past a diving Coffey. A little bit of an earth scorcher there. It got past the mound and then seemed like Coffey might have had a play, but he did not get there in time with the dive just beyond it. You can see right there. Coffey laying out, sacrificing the body, but still coming up short. So now Joe Mondragon is up. Crowell, not known for stealing bases, only has attempted 5, but has a penchant for going at the right times, as he has only been caught once. Mondragon will watch strike 1 paint the outside corner. With the left-handed hitting Mondragon up, you might see Scott take off. It's hard for a catcher with a left-handed hitter to see the runner at first take off for second. 1 ball and 1 strike on Mondragon. The pitch sent into left center field, and it's going to drop down. It gets by both Hunter and Million, racing around third and going to home. Slide in, just in front of the throw will be Kyle Crowell scoring from first, courtesy of the double by Joe Mondragon, and Mondragon takes third on the throw. What a great slide by Crowell. You can see it here, able to get around with the head first slide just in front of the throw. A great swipe tag tried by Layton, but didn't get it down in time. So now Central Oklahoma is up 1-0, and they have a golden opportunity with a runner at third and 1 out. Left fielder Taylor Avila, the batter. Strike 1 at the knees. So Joe Mondragon there, first baseman for Central Oklahoma. Infield now going to be brought in by head coach Bryce Darnell of Missouri Southern in the attempt to cut down Mondragon if he were to go home. The 0-2, high, ball 1. But you bring the infield in, you basically add 100 points to a batter's average. So Taylor Avila goes from being a 275 hitter to a 375 hitter. The 1-2 is sent into shallow right field. It's going to get over the center fielder Million. Racing around first and pulling into second with a double is Avila, and coming in to score is Mondragon. It's 2-0 Central Oklahoma here in the top of the 4th inning. They have found their hitting stroke off of Bossinger. And now there's going to be a mound visit. Coming out to talk to his pitcher, assistant coach Nick Tuck. I gotta say, Million did a great job on that throw He read it off the wall perfectly and got it in quick to Swims, making sure that there was no advancement from second by Avila. Entire infield now in on this conference to get on the same page on how they're going to attack the next few hitters of the Broncos. No one is up and throwing in Central Oklahoma's bullpen just yet. And assistant coach Nick Tuck will head back to the dugout. And it's TJ McWhirter, the batter. McWhirter flew out to left to end the second inning. Bossinger gets a sign from Layton. Will wind and deal, and it pops out of the glove of Layton. Not far enough for Avila to make an advancement, though. So it remains a runner at second with one out. Count 1 ball and no strikes here. Bossinger will come set. Check the runner and deal. High and outside, ball 2. Bossinger, having lost the touch a little bit, take a deep breath and try to refocus himself to get a strike here. Although it's hard, as with what the strike zone is, if he throws it in there, it's basically going to be hit. The 2-0. That'll grab the knees, strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Central Oklahoma's taken a 2-0 lead off of back-to-back doubles by Joe Mondragon and Taylor Avila. The 2-1 will be grounded toward third. Play over at first will retire McWhirter. And Avila will have to stay at second base. He's now runner second with 2 out. Ground ball right to Flanders at third. Very easy throw over to Miller at first. Kind of brought him off the bag, but Miller having plenty of time to step on first, as McWhirter is the catcher, not known for his speed. Now Drew Barrier will dig in the left-hand side, not happy with the fact that it took so long for Bossinger to throw, so he has asked for time and has granted it. Now both Bossinger and Barrier are ready. Backdoor pickoff move. Coffey, the shortstop, was there, but Bossinger didn't trust it enough to throw, so diving back in safely on the fake pickoff is Taylor Avila of Central Oklahoma. Barrier hit a single in his first at-bat last inning. Eventually got around to third, but was left stranded. Watches. Ball 1 miss up. 1 ball, no strikes. Here in the top of the fourth, the 1-0. That one is low, 2-0. Bossinger hit the target of his catcher, Layton, but it was much too low to be called a strike. The 2-0, that one's in there. Dropped in a curveball for a strike, knowing that Barrier, with 2 balls and no strikes, is looking for one specific pitch in one specific spot, typically something flat, so he's able to sneak a curveball by him. The 2-1, foul. Makes it 2-2. Heading back to second base is Taylor Avila. His 1-out double scored Joe Mondragon from third base, giving the Broncos a little bit of cushion. The 2-2, fouled up and out of play directly over the backstop. So we'll reset and do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Layton will get the sign from his dugout and send it to his pitcher. Central Oklahoma defense and subs on the edge of the dugout with eager anticipation. The 2-2 is sent into left. Hunter will drift under it and grab it for the final out of the inning, but not before 3 consecutive hits, including back-to-back doubles, gives Central Oklahoma a 2-0 advantage. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's the Broncos 2, the Lions nothing. Back after this on the MIAA Network.
NCAA Teamworks is how the NCAA, member schools, student athletes, and corporate champions and partners actively engage in outreach efforts where national championships are played. Through initiatives such as NCAA Community 101 service learning projects, disaster relief efforts, youth clinics, backpack and school supply donations, and support of the Special Olympics and the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the NCAA and its partners work together to leave a lasting legacy in the community. For more information on NCAA Teamworks, go to ncaa.com/teamworks.
We've got our heads in the game,
Our minds in the classroom,
our hands in the community,
and our feet ready for the world.
We're a part of the NCAA Division II experience
Using our skills
at our universities and in our communities. I chose the MIAA.
I chose the MIAA. MIAA, the spirit of our communities.
Bottom of the 4th. Central Oklahoma's leading Missouri Southern 2-0, courtesy of back-to-back doubles by Joe Mondragon and Taylor Avila. Leading things off for the Lions in the bottom of the 4th is the right fielder Troy Gagan. Count 2 balls and no strikes on Gagan. Gabe Littlejim on the hill, throwing with his first lead of the day. The 2-0 sent into right field, and settling under it and grabbing it is the right fielder Barrier. And the way Barrier stopped, it looked like he had lost it briefly for a second in the sun, but he knew exactly where the ball was, so he was just slowing up so he could catch it and ease up the throwing motion, getting it in to his second baseman. That's 1 out. Ground ball knocked down by the third baseman Scott. Throw over to first in time. Bang, bang play. And retired is Denver Coffey. It was a long delayed call by the first base umpire, but it's still going to be an out. You can see it over here. Scott diving catch. Then he threw it over, and hard to tell from that replay, but it's ruled an out. So very quickly, the first 2 batters are retired in the bottom of the 4th, and now Alex Phillips, the designated hitter, will try to find a way to get on base and keep things going. Phillips, a .238 hitter with 3 home runs. He'll ground it over on the right side, picked up by Black to Mondragon at first, and 1, 2, 3 go the Lions in the bottom of the 4th. No runs, no hits, nobody left. To the 5th we go. It's 2-0 Central Oklahoma. Back after this with more of the 2019 MIAA Baseball Championship here on the MIAA Network.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
It's the top of the 5th. Central Oklahoma leading 2-0. Very quick work. And the bottom half of the 4th by Gabe Littlejim, getting his team back out there with momentum. Chopper to third, picked up by Flanders, and a strong throw over to Miller at first. Cuts down Ryan Harrell, the shortstop. 5-3 if you're scoring at home. Great job by Flanders. He had a big hop as the ball bounced off the turf right in front of home. He had to wait for it to come down, and once it did, he knew he had very little time to get over to first, but he was able to do so with very little problem. TJ Black is the batter. He's grounded out to second, and he's grounded out to short thus far today. The 1-0. At the knees, strike one. After Black, it'll be Block Ruminer, center fielder. The 1-1 change up. Caught Black sleeping, and he can't even pull the trigger on it as it was right down the middle. Makes the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, Bosinger with 63 pitches coming into this at-bat. The 1-2 low, tried to be blocked by Layton. It got by him. No harm, no foul for Missouri Southern, though, as there's nobody on. The 2-2 is fouled down the line and left, and it will drop just foul. I mean, it was maybe 2 baseballs widths dropping behind the line. Able to pick it up on a bounce was Hunter. That was very, very close. Being an extra base hit for Black with his speed. So we'll reset and do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. This one is a fastball that stays outside. Running the count full, 3-2. Bosinger gets the sign from Layton, kicks and deals, ground ball. Fair to the third baseman Flanders. Another strong throw and a great dig on the back end by Miller. Had it on a mid-hop. Needed to stay down until the last second, then pop up with his glove, and he was able to do so for the second out of the inning. Thus far, TJ Black being very democratic with his ground balls, grounding out to short, second, and third. So now with 2 outs, Brock Ruminer. You'll see strike 1 pass him by. Ruminer grounded out to second and struck out swinging. That is it. The 0-1, he squares around the bunt and pulls it back, and that ball was high and possibly could have clipped him in the helmet if he'd stayed bent over to bunt like that. The 1-1 incoming. Just a bit low, 2-1. Sun is slowly starting to set here at Al Ortolani Field along the left field line, sending shadows across the diamond. A 2-1 swung on and missed by Ruminer. Most of the field, though, at this point, all in sun with the occasional shadow of a light pole. The 2-2 in the dirt. Nice job blocking it by Layton. Even better layoff by Ruminer, as that was flat, but it started off below the strike zone and never really had a chance to be in there. The 3-2 swung on and missed. High cheese. Ruminer can't catch it, and he'll go down as a strikeout victim to end the inning for the second time in this game. 3 up, 3 down for the Broncos in the top of the 5th. To the bottom of the 5th, it's 2-0 Central Oklahoma. Back after this on the MIAA Network.
We've got our heads in the game,
Our minds in the classroom,
our hands in the community,
and our feet ready for the world.
We're a part of the NCAA Division II experience.
Using our skills
at our universities and in our communities. I chose the MIAA.
I chose the MIAA. MIAA, the spirit of our communities.
These are your teams, your players, your community of fans. This is where they play, where they practice, where you cheer. At every meet, every event, every game. Your community is passionate, dedicated, supportive. You know the tension of a close game and the thrill of the win. So while you're cheering, keep an eye out for anything out of the ordinary. If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
Bottom of the fifth. Central Oklahoma leading Missouri Southern 2-0. Leading things off for the Lions in the bottom of the fifth is Dexter Swims, the second baseman. He watches ball one go by, and Gabe Littlejim is wasting no time getting into a rhythm. Comes right back with the second pitch. It also misses the zone. 2 balls, no strikes on Swims, who popped out to second in his first at-bat. The 2-0 lined into center field. No chance of that one being caught. So he'll lead things off with a single for the Lions in the bottom of the fifth. And I'll bring up Matt Miller. Miller hit a single in his last at-bat, and there's another look at that smooth swinging hit by Swims. Kept himself very closed and compact, shoulder in, and was able to drive that ball right back up the middle to record the out. Littlejim working from the stretch for again. Hasn't had to do so since the third inning, as he was able to go 1-2-3 last inning in the fourth. Miller watches ball one miss inside. Jim will get the sign from McWhorter. Check Swims at first and deal and miss low and in. 2 balls and no strikes. Swims on the year. He has gotten on base. It's 5 of 5 in steal attempts. The ground ball to second gets away from Black. He wanted to try and go the double play and got a little too quick with himself, turning over to go towards second. Knocked it down, though, so he's able to get the out at first, retiring Miller. But advancing to second is Swims. 1 out and a runner on second. You can see right there that Black had a nice job composing himself when he realized there was no chance to go to second. Picked it up, made a strong, sturdy throw over to first. Ryan Hunter, the number 9 hitter's up, and he'll line it to Harrell at short, who catches it, dives back, and doubles off. Swims of second base. What athleticism by Ryan Harrell, the shortstop of Central Oklahoma, and that will fire up not only him but his team. What a play to end the fifth. And take a look at it again. Timed his jump perfectly, had it, dove to the bag, and beat Swims just by a hair. Great job by Ryan Harrell. To the sixth we go. It's 2-0 Central Oklahoma here on the MIAA Network.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
A phenomenal defensive play by Ryan Harrell, a shortstop for Central Oklahoma, ended the bottom of the fifth and kept momentum clearly on their side. Now the leadoff hitter is Philip Scott. He sends it deep into center field. What a catch by Million in center field. Mike Million sacrificing body to get that catch, extending himself to his fullest reach in deepest center field and snagging that out of midair, taking away extra bases from Philip Scott. What a catch. Phenomenal defense we've seen on back-to-back hits shown by both sides, proving why these are the number 2 and number 3 teams respectively in the MIAA. That'll bring up Kyle Crowell, the designated hitter, who's flown out to center, and then he singled in his last at-bat. He eventually came around to score on that single by the double by Joe Mondragon. Will Bosinger on the mound, getting some help right there as Crowell made up his mind he was going to swing before the pitch was even thrown. All right, take a look at it again. Mike Million, the center fielder, putting everything on the line for that catch. And my goodness, what a play. Someone send that into Sports Center tonight. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Crowell. Bosinger gets the sign from Leighton, his catcher, and that'll be yanked foul, keeping it at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Top of the 6th, Central Oklahoma leading Missouri Southern 2-0. Thanks to the 2 runs they scored in the top of the 4th. And Gabe Littlejim has done a great job pitching for Central Oklahoma, but great pitching shown right there by Will Bosinger as he has Crowell expand his strike zone, whiffing and coming up empty. Thigh high on the outer half of the plate. Crowell had to do something with it and try and get a hit, but he was unable to do so. So 2 up and 2 down in the top of the 6th for Missouri Southern. And the batter will be Joe Mondragon, who is 2 for 2 today, a single and a double. His double drove in 1 run, and then Mondragon himself eventually came around to score. The 1-0 is on the outside corner at the knees. Strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs. Here in Game 3 of Day 2, 2019 MIAA Baseball Championship, a double elimination tournament. The 1-1, same spot, this time with just a fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Winner of today will play at 7:30 tomorrow, and timeout called by Mondragon right before the pitch was thrown. Going through his motion was the pitcher Bosinger, and then Mondragon had to swing to defend himself, and he grounded it to the first baseman, but it doesn't matter. So we will reset and do it again with 1 ball and 2 strikes, and it will miss low. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Bosinger will kick and deal. This one's grounded through the hole, up the middle into center field. Swims, the second baseman, was shaded over toward first, so he didn't have a chance to get to it. Million, the center fielder, will scoop it up, though, and there it is again, outside of the outreached glove. Bosinger, and Bosinger a little frustrated that 2-strike pitch had so much of the plate. So Mondragon will keep his perfect day alive, as he's 3 for 3 at this point. Next batter up, Taylor Avila. He'll swing at the first pitch he sees, sky it up. Coming in is Coffey, and he'll call for it and make the catch. Coffey, Swims, and Miller all converging on the spot. And the infielders doing what they're taught to do, ceding to the captain, that is the shortstop. So a single is all that the Broncos get in the top of the 6th. Other than that, they go down 1-2-3 to the bottom of the 6th. It's 2-0 Central Oklahoma here on the MIAA Network. bottom of the 6th. Score remains 2-0. Central Oklahoma leading Missouri Southern. Leading things off for the Missouri Southern, the center fielder Mike Million, who made a phenomenal catch to begin the top of the 6th, running dead sprint toward the center field wall, laying out and throwing up his glove, stretching everywhere. He'll watch strike 1 go by from Gabe Little Jim. No balls and 1 strike. Little Jim will kick and deal, and it's fouled back into the netting. Gabe Little Jim coming into this inning had gotten through 5 innings on 55 pitches, well below the average of 14 an inning they say they want pitchers to go through to have a complete game. No balls in, 2 strikes, and Million will check his swing, let a ball go that was up above the shoulders. There is Little Jim, who thus far today has 4 strikeouts. Million, for his part, is 2 for 2 with 2 singles, and now he doesn't like how much free time Little Jim has been giving him, so he will ask for a respite and be granted by the umpire. The 1-2 knocked foul and out of play over the press box directly behind home plate. So we will reset and do it again here at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Catcher McWhorter will look over and get the sign from the dugout, flash it over to Little Jim. The deal, throwing the bat head out and sending it into left field. Avila will come over and make the catch for out number 1. Mike Million trying to do what he could to stay alive, but the ball just kind of didn't have anything there with him. So he flies out harmlessly to left field. Brings up John Layton, the catcher for the Lions, who is 0 for 2. Grounded out in the first, popped out in the third to the shortstop, Harrell. Ball 1 to begin this at-bat. Little Jim tries to throw a curveball, but it just spins out of his hands and stays outside. A 2-0 in there at the knees on the inside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike. The 2-1 swung on and missed. Good time to call that hard late-breaking curveball. Layton had this pitch timed up, but because of the last bit of movement, he did not make contact. The 2-2, low, 3-2. Little Jim gets the sign, kicks, fires, and strike 3 called on the outside corner. A little bit of a delayed call by the home plate umpire. And being rung up looking is Layton. Let's take a look at it again. And that one was right at the kneecaps, about as low as you can get, with it still being inside the designated strike zone. So that puts 2 outs on the board for the third baseman, Freddie Landers, who himself was a strikeout victim looking of Little Jim's back in the first inning. He's also hit a soft liner over to Landers at third. Or excuse me, a soft liner to Scott at third. 1 ball, 1 strike on Landers. He'll ground it past Harrell, and Harrell frustrated with himself because he slipped trying to get into the hole to get the play. He's also shaded a lot closer to third than normal. You can see right there Harrell slipping as he went to get to start, and he wanted to dive but unable to get his feet underneath him. Can't pull off the dive there either. So it's a 2-out single for Freddie Landers. Bring up the cleanup hitter and Troy Gagan. Gagan struck out swinging in the second, and he flew out to right in the fourth. A 1-0. He'll miss the strike zone. 2 balls and no strikes. Landers at third. Not much of a threat to run. The 2-0 is low. 3-0 now. Landers only attempted 6 stolen bases. However, he has succeeded every time. The 3-0 to the right fielder, Troy Gagan, incoming. The pitch right down Main Street with Gagan taken all the way. Very few guarantees in life. One is death. The other is that on a 3-0 count in baseball and softball, the batter 9 times out of 10 will take the pitch. The 3-1 outside, ball 4. Back-to-back runners reaching base with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th, and now the Lions starting to come to life a little bit in their dugout. There is someone throwing down in the Central Oklahoma bullpen, and that will have a mound visit be prompted for the Broncos. Coming out to talk with Little Jim is going to be assistant coach Todd George. The rest of the infield in there as well. Can't quite see who the pitcher is warming up down there. I believe is the left-hander Landon Bond, a senior out of Gainesville, Texas. 2 on, 2 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Central Oklahoma leading 2-0 over Missouri Southern. And Denver Coffey, the shortstop, is up. Big curveball to start off against Coffey, and it's in there for a strike. Coffey, a .280 hitter on the year, but a clutch hitter as he has 35 RBIs for the Lions. Long look at the runner at second by Little Jim. Ball in the dirt, bouncing, and nice job blocking it and then getting to it quickly by McWhirter. That gets any further from McWhirter, and he doesn't get on it as fast as he does. That says Landers to third. As it is, he will stay at second, and Gagan will stay at first. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Black holding Landers at second. The 1-1. Bounce in the dirt, blocked again by McWhirter, and that has got to be such a huge relief to a pitcher, knowing that you have a catcher like McWhirter who's going to kill everything. Gave Little Jim there a look of determination on his face. Maybe a mix of frustration as well, feeling that he should have been out of this inning a little sooner. The 2-1 sent soaring into the blue sky. Black settles underneath it. He calls for it, and he will catch it for the out. So Gabe Little Jim and the Central Oklahoma Broncos avoid the 2-out, 2-runner-on scare and maintain their 2-0 lead. To the top of the 7th, it's 2-0 Central Oklahoma. Back after this on the MIAA Network.
Label me.
You know you want to.
Don't be shy.
You do it behind my back.
So say it to my face. You don't know me. You know what I am?
I'm a pitcher.
I'm a striker.
I'm a point guard.
I'm a linebacker.
I'm a setter.
Shortstop.
High jumper.
Wrestler.
Defender.
Goalie.
Student.
Student athletes.
That's who we are.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
Top of the 7th, Central Oklahoma leading Missouri Southern 2-0. Central Oklahoma has had 6 hits, however, only been able to round up 2 runs. They've left 4 runners on base. Will Bosinger back out there to try and keep this at a 2-0 deficit. He'll face off against McWhirter, the catcher, but it's an easy fly ball out to center for Million. Completely unlike the catch he had to begin the 6th inning. He was just standing there for this one, was Million. 1 pitch and 1 out. Now it's up Drew Barrier, who is 1 for 2. He had a single back in the 3rd, and then he flew out to left in the 4th. 1 ball, no strikes, and that's going to be a ball hit down the corner into left. He'll get all the way into the corner. Hunter digs it out. Going into second, though, is Barrier with a 1-out double. And that was an absolute smoke shot right over the third baseman Flanders and landed fair. There was no chance for Hunter to prevent extra bases. He did a great job playing the carom right there, but by the time he got to it, pulling into second standing up was Barrier. So now the batter will be Ryan Harrell, who had a phenomenal defensive play of his own earlier to end the bottom of the 5th. There he made a nice leaping catch on a line drive. Looked like it was destined to head into center. And he dove and tagged second base to double off the runner that was there, Swims. Once again, another look at Barrier there at second. He's got a nice lead against a right-handed pitcher. Swims, the second baseman, taxed with keeping him close, but still playing a little closer to his position than anything else. Action in the Lions bullpen with someone warming up. They still have their warm-up on, so he's just playing a little bit of catch to get ready if he needs to. The 2-0 will be fouled out of play by Harrell over the Bronco dugout along the first base side. So it's 2 balls and 1 strike with 1 out. And a runner on second here in the top of the 7th for Central Oklahoma. Bossington gets the sign from Layton, and now swing around a bunt is Harrell, and he'll bunt it foul. A good idea, as playing deep were both the corner infielders Flanders and Miller, who tried to go to the third base side and pull Flanders up to get Barrier over to third, but unfortunately Harrell had his bat angled just a bit too much. So now the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. The pitch sent into right field, putting up his glove to fight the sun is Gagan. He'll make the catch, and just going to stand on second is Barrier, as it was into medium deep right field at best. No chance for Barrier to try to tag up and advance. That's a great job right there of Gagan. He has sunglasses on, but knowing that the sun is still going to affect him, using his glove to shield his eyes to find the ball and then make the catch. Back at the top of the order, it's TJ Black, who has been very democratic in his groundouts. Grounded out to second in the first, to short in the third, and to third base in the fifth. Let's see if he can ground out to first here to end the inning. The 0-1, he'll ground it. Nope, it's yanked foul. Almost picked up by Central Oklahoma defender. And now one of the players ran out to get it as fast as he can, lost his hat, and whenever he picked it up, he slid to grab it due to the insistence of his teammates. 3-0-2, swung on and missed. Black comes up empty with that swing. And that is the third out of the inning. So the one-out double by Drew Barrier comes to naught. Going to the bottom of the seventh, it's Central Oklahoma 2, Missouri Southern nothing. Back after this with more of the 2019 MIAA Baseball Championship here on the MIAA Network.
There are over 480,000 college athletes. Only 2% will go pro. That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs. No private jets. No fan clubs. No Hall of Fame inductions. Instead, they will walk away with something much more valuable.
Hasty Awards has been proud to be the official award supplier to the MIAA for 7 years, and we're happy to supply you and your organization with all your award needs. Whether you're ordering for your individual youth sports team or placing a custom medal order, we have you covered. As always, you have our lowest price guarantee, highest quality awards, exceptional service, and our hasty turnaround. We are ready to serve you for your next event, no matter how large or small. Hasty Awards is the #1 source for all your award and recognition needs.
Bottom of the seventh, the score 2-0. Central Oklahoma leading Missouri Southern, and a little bit of fun shown by those who are not playing the game for Central Oklahoma. Running down there and making a slide to pick up a foul ball that was hit, and then hustling back to the dugout. New pitcher for Central Oklahoma is going to be the left-hander Landon Bond. Bond, a senior out of Gainesville, Texas, 6'1", 180. First batter that Bond will see is is a pinch hitter for the Lions. That pinch hitter is going to be Joe Kinder. Joe Kinder coming up in place of the DH who started the game, Alex Phillips, and that's to avoid a lefty-on-lefty matchup. It's 1 ball and 1 strike on Kinder right now. And the 1-1 in there for a strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes now. The 1-2 swung on and missed. Kinder swings over the top of a breaking ball. That makes it 2-2 now. I thought the previous pitch was a strike, but still nice pitch there. 2-2. Ball in the dirt, blocked by McWhirter. Runs the count full, 3-2. Bond trying to be intimidating as possible on the mound despite being a rather lithe 180. 3-2 fouled out of play. So we'll stay put at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Whenever he gets on the rubber, he brings his glove with his hand and the ball right up to his face. I mean, you can't see any of his face with how he has it. The 3-2 swung on and missed. Kinder goes down swinging for the first out of the 7th. And the lefty comes in and does his job. Take a look at it one more time. That was below the knees, and Kinder, unable to lay off, comes up empty. That's going to bring up Dexter Swims, the second baseman for Missouri Southern. As they trail 2-0 here in the 7th. Bond pumping in strikes to the zone right there. Hitting the outside corner with that one. Gets the sign that he likes. Winds and deals. Swung on and missed. Over the top of it is Swims. And Landon Bond has a breaking ball that just dives straight down. And that has Missouri Southern Lion hitter swinging over the top of it. The 0-2 does it again. Same exact spot. Swims can't come up with it. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the 7th by Landon Bond. And he is coming in hot and on fire out of the bullpen. So now the first baseman, Matt Miller, will step in to the batter's box. He's 1 for 2 on the day, a single and a ground out to second. Once more, that big swooping breaking ball has a line coming up with air when they swing. The 0-1 swung on and missed. Back-to-back big curveballs from Bond. Will he go there again against Miller, who has shown no restraint when swinging against them? Here is the pitch. He does, and Miller comes up empty for a 3rd time. Landon Bond, the lefty, coming out of the bullpen, strikes out the side. 1, 2, 3, go the Lions. In the bottom of the 7th, to the 8th we go. It's 2-0 Central Oklahoma. Back after this on the MIAA Network.
NCAA Teamworks is how the NCAA, member schools, student athletes, and corporate champions and partners actively engage in outreach efforts where national championships are played. Through initiatives such as NCAA Community 101 service learning projects, disaster relief efforts, youth clinics, backpack and school supply donations, and support of the Special Olympics and the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the NCAA and its partners work together to leave a lasting legacy in the community. For more information on NCAA Teamworks, go to ncaa.com/teamworks.
We've got our heads in the game,
Our minds in the classroom,
our hands in the community,
and our feet ready for the world.
We're a part of the NCAA Division II experience.
Using our skills
at our universities and in our communities. I chose the MIAA.
I chose the MIAA. MIAA, the spirit of our communities.
Landon Bond shutting down the Lions in the bottom of the 7th, striking out the side on 13 pitches. Now the batter to lead off the top of the 7th is going to be Brock Rumener, and he grounds out to 3rd. 1 pitch and 1 out for Will Bossington. And just an easy little ground ball over there to 3rd. And Landers fields that all day. Next up will be Philip Scott, the 3rd baseman who was robbed of extra bases in his last at-bat on a great play in center field by Mike Millian. This time he'll get underneath it and send a nice little fly ball, a can of corn, out to Denver Coffee at short. So that's a quick 2 outs in this top of the 8th on the Central Oklahoma Broncos. Next up, Kyle Crowell, who's 1 for 3. He's flown out to center. He singled in the 6th. And he struck out swinging in the 6th. He hit the single in the 4th, I should have said. 1 ball and 1 strike now on Crowell here. Right-handed hitter out of Council Bluffs, Iowa. The 1-1 swung on and missed. Makes it 1 ball and 2 strikes. The The 1-2. That's sent into center field, left center field. Millen and Hunter giving chase, and it will be Hunter who grabs it for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down. Go the Broncos in the top of the 8th. Through 8, 7.5. It's Central Oklahoma 2, Missouri Southern nothing. Back after this on the MIAA Network.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Bottom of the 8th, score 2-0 Central Oklahoma over Missouri Southern. Nearly equal in hits, 7-6, but Central Oklahoma has been able to make theirs count. Landon Bond out to start his second inning of work. And he is going to face off against a pinch hitter in place of Ryan Hunter. That pinch hitter is Richard Fullington. Fullington checks his swing, but sees a strike go through anyways. So the count is even at 1 ball, 1 strike. So look at that. The glove is so far up there, basically only his eyes would be visible and only to his catcher so he can see what sign is being flashed to him. And Bond doesn't care for much else. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Fullerton. The 1-2 bounces, tried to be blocked by McWhirter, and it gets away, but with no one on, not so much of a big deal. Then as he gets set up, you can see a little bit of happy feet from Bond getting the sign and the sharply hit ground ball, and that smashed the metal roofing on top of the dugout along the first base side. Foul ball picked up by the first base coach of Missouri Southern. Once again, as he gets the sign, a little bit of a shimmy shake by Bond, then he takes a deep breath and throws it in. Staying alive, Fullerton fouling off a second pitch over the dugout on the first base side. Went all the way down to the bus, and Fullerton is late on all of these pitches by Bond, but he's just early enough to stay alive. That last one went to the dugout of Central Oklahoma where they made the catch on a looper. The 2-2, low 3-2 now the count. Full count against the pitch hitter, Richard Fullington. Bonds, 3-2, swung on and missed. 4 straight strikeouts for Landon Bond, entering in from the bullpen in relief. No one on this Missouri Southern squad can hit that breaking ball right there. Fullerton was the one who came the closest, running through. And he comes up empty after a 7-pitch battle. Now mound visit with all the infield showing up there. And there might be a pitching change as they go to the top of the Missouri Southern batting order. There's someone down in the bullpen warming up for the Broncos. but he is indeed going to make a pitching change. His head coach, John Martin. So with that pitching change, we'll step aside for a brief break and come back on the other side with the continuation of the bottom of the eighth. We're here on the MIAA Network with the 2019 MIAA Baseball Championship.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
New pitcher for Central Oklahoma is the right-handed senior out of Dover, Oklahoma, Junior Obeso. Obeso comes to Central Oklahoma courtesy of Western Oklahoma. 5'10 junior, 180 pounds. And Obeso is going to come in here and face the leadoff hitter for the Lions. And Mike McMillan. And McMillan is 2 for 3. Singled in the first and the third, and then he flew out to left in the sixth. There's nobody on and one out. Obeso's first pitch, strike right through there. Obeso has come in hot and ready. He'll get the sign from McWhirter and deal. That's a 12-6 breaking ball that is laid off by Million. Ball stayed outside from the time it started to the time it ended up at the plate. The 1-1 swung on and missed. That one is a much better location from Obeso. Million swung right over the top of it. On the rubber, much less of a trying to be intimidating persona by Obeso compared to Bond. Obeso just stands on the rubber, looks in, gets the sign that he wants, and then throws it. Meanwhile, if you compare that to how Bond was, where he was just hiding everything, trying to appear to be a, well, for lack of a better term, Bond villain on the mound, with how little you could see from the 2-2 is sent on the left side of the field. Scott will make the catch in fair territory as it was drifting over between that left field foul line all the way, and eventually Scott will make the catch. That's the second out of the inning. Now the batter will be John Layton. You can see down in the bullpen of the softball field, beyond the left field fence, Central Missouri waiting and getting ready for their game against Pittsburgh State. That's set to start here right at the conclusion of this game. And the first pitch that Layton does is fouls it back into the stands, and one Missouri Southern fan says, "I'm not afraid," and makes the catch barehanded. Sign that man up. The 0-1. At the knees on the inside corner, no balls and 2 strikes. Layton, 0 for 3, looking for his first hit, grounded out to short, flown out, popped out to short, and he struck out looking. Obeso's 0-2. That's chopped foul. What a, I don't want to say lackadaisical swing there by Layton, but very much a smooth swing. And once again, having some fun. Central Oklahoma, I believe they're timing each other as they get those foul balls from when they leave the dugout to when they get back. That's a good way to instill having the necessity to get foul balls to keep the game moving by timing your players and punishing them if they don't get it under a certain time. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Layton. That one was well outside, wasn't even close to start with. Basically from the moment it left Obezo's hand, it was a ball, so Layton could spit on it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out here in the bottom of the 8th, and no more, as striking out swinging is Layton Obezo, able to get Layton to chase, and that will end the Lion half of the 8. Going to the top of the 9th, it's still 2-0 Central Missouri. Back after this on the MIAA Network.
These are your teams, your players, your community of fans. This is where they play, where they practice, where you cheer. At every meet, every event, every game. Your community is passionate, dedicated, supportive. You know the tension of a close game and the thrill of the win. So while you're cheering, keep an eye out for anything out of the ordinary. If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
We've got our heads in the game,
Our minds in the classroom,
our hands in the community,
and our feet ready for the world.
We're a part of the NCAA Division II experience.
Using our skills
at our universities and in our communities. I chose the MIAA.
I chose the MIAA.
MIAA, the spirit of our communities.
It is the top of the 9th. The score 2-0 Central Oklahoma. New pitcher for Missouri Southern is going to be River Wright, the 6 foot, 210-pound sophomore out of Buckland, Missouri. And Buckland is spelled B-U-C-K-L-I-N. Buckland. Wright is also a graduate of Buckland High School. For the Broncos, leading things off in the top of the 9th, it will be the first baseman, Joe Mondragon. And Wright's job, now that he's in this game, is to make sure that this deficit for his Lions remains at 2. Joe Mondragon is 3 for 3 thus far. He singled in the 2nd, doubled in the 4th, and singled in the 6th. First pitch from River Wright nearly hits Mondragon in the foot. Able to bounce it out of the way just in time. It's ball 1. After Mondragon, it'll be Taylor Avila and the catcher TK McWhorton. The 1-0 on the outside corner. Strike 1. A couple of righties throwing down in the Central Oklahoma bullpen. The 1-1 is low, 2-1. I would imagine the thought behind that is, depending on how the outcome of this inning goes, one of the pitchers down there is Josh Rutland, a senior out of Shawnee, Oklahoma. 3 balls and 1 strike on Mondragon. 3-1, low and away, ball 4, so Mondragon will keep his perfect day and tack on a walk. Taylor Avila, the batter now. And a pinch runner coming in for Mondragon. It's going to be Case Massner. Trying to get a little more speed on the base paths for the Broncos, and now there will be a conference of players. It will be the First baseman Miller, the third baseman Flanders, as well as the pitcher and the catcher. Coming over to get an assignment is Masner before heading to first base. Now the game will continue. Layton wanted to get on the same page as Wright on how to attack the rest of this Central Oklahoma lineup, and now there's actually going to be another pitching change as head coach Bryce Darnall is walking out to the mound and pointing to the bullpen. So it was one batter and out for Wright. That's not getting out here in the top of the ninth. So we'll take another break and come back after this pitching change. Score 2-0 still Central Oklahoma over Missouri Southern here on the MIAA Network.
These are your teams, your players, your community of fans. This is where they play, where they practice, where you cheer. At every meet, every event, every game. Your community is passionate, dedicated, supportive. You know the tension of a close game and the thrill of the win. So while you're cheering, keep an eye out for anything out of the ordinary. If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
We've got our heads in the game,
Our minds in the classroom,
our hands in the community,
and our feet ready for the world.
We're a part of the NCAA Division II experience
Using our skills
at our universities and in our communities.
New pitcher for Missouri Southern is Bradley Hershey, right-hand senior out of Coffeyville, Kansas. And the only thing more fitting for Hershey coming out of Coffeyville would be if he came out of Hershey, Pennsylvania. Runner at first, pinch runner, is Case Masner. He got there after Joe Mondragon drew a walk. That was the only batter that River Wright faced in this inning. And that led to Hershey coming up. And now first pitch that he throws is going to hit Taylor Avila. And there are two on with nobody out to start this eighth inning. And things could be spiraling out of control quickly here for the Lions if they don't get their act together soon. Miner's going to be the catcher, T.K. McWhirton. I would not be surprised if you saw McWhirton here lay down a bunt as there are runners at first and second with nobody out. Right-handed hitting McWhirton is 0 for 3. He's flown out to left, grounded out to third, and flown out to center. And there he is. McWhirton squares around the bunt right as Hershey comes set. And just because Hershey steps off, McWhirton isn't going to change. He squares early, pulls the bat back, takes a ball high. McWhirton knows exactly what his job is here, and that's to get both of those runners over. Senior coming to Central Oklahoma from Kansas State University. He'll bunt. His first bunt attempt will go foul off the plate. And right into the backstop. Number 2 seed Missouri Southern trailing the number 3 seed in this tournament, Central Oklahoma, 2-0. Once again, swinging around to bunt is McWhirton, and this one he bunts high and foul into some of the New bleacher grandstands that are around home plate. Didn't get the bat head up high enough, got underneath the ball, so it's 1 ball and 2 strikes now. McWhirton could be swinging away. He could try and bunt again. We will see. Denver Coffey, the shortstop. McWhirton going to try and bunt again. He gets it down this time to the pitcher. Pitcher goes to third, and in time, cutting down the lead runner, Mesner. Great fielding of his position by Hershey. Got the bunt quickly, spun around, went to third, and Flanders, staying at home covering, was able to stretch and beat the runner Mesner to third base. Here's another look. Getting off the mound quickly. He's got it. Throw over to third. Bang, bang play. And Mesner is out. Batter now is going to be Drew Barrier. It's a fielder's choice. 1-5. With Mesner being retired if you score that at home. Drew Barrier up. 1 ball, no strikes on him. He'll watch a strike cut through the zone. Thus far, Barrier, he is 2 for 3. He's hit a single and a double. 1 ball and 1 strike. On the left-hand hitting right fielder, he'll send it into left field. Hunter drifting over to left, it gets underneath it, makes the catch for out number 2, and the runners are going to have to stay put at second and first. Great bit of pitching thus far by Hershey to come in and get 2 relatively easy outs. Shortstop Ryan Harrell will dig in for Central Oklahoma. He is 0 for 2 officially, grounding out to third and flying out to right. He did lay down a sacrifice bunt way back in the 3rd inning. He'll give a little bit of a twitch as if to start his swing, but not actually swing. Watch a strike go by, nodding his head in agreement. In the bottom of the 9th for Missouri Southern, it's the 3, 4, 5 hitters, and Landers, Gagan, and Coffey. Check the runner at second. The 0-1, low, ball 1. Central Oklahoma scored 2 runs in the 4th on 3 consecutive base knocks, and that has been it for the scoring along both sides. Hershey will get the sign from his catcher Layton and sling it across and throw it outside. Ball 2. Coming with that sidearm style, trying to keep the ball hidden from right-hand batters as best he can. But that makes him susceptible to miss the strike zone left and right as well as up and down if his release point is not consistent. Stands on the first base side of the rubber. He'll check the runner at second, come across and sling it, just miss outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. On the number 9 hitter, Harrell. Runner at second there is Avila, being held close by the second baseman, Swims. The 3-1 on the inside corner for a strike, and Harrell got about 3/4 of the way down the first baseline before he realized that was a strike. He had chucked his bat into the dugout, basically. So he will make the embarrassing 75-foot jog back to home and take his bat from TJ Black, who is on deck. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. The runners will be going on the pitch. Hershey gets the sign from Layton. He'll come set and deliver. The runners go. Grounded high into short. Coming over is Coffey. Throw over to first in time to retire Harrell. Bang, bang play. But the ball gets there first. So, despite having back-to-back batters reach via the walk and the hit by pitch, the Broncos come up with nothing in the top of the 9th. To the bottom of the 9th we go. It's 2-0 Central Oklahoma. Back after this with the thrilling conclusion of this game, 3rd game of the 2019 MIAA Baseball Championship here on the MIAA Network.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Last licks for the Lions here in the bottom of the ninth as they trail 2-0. The Broncos of Central Oklahoma. There is a new pitcher on the mound for Broncos. It is the right-handed senior Josh Rutland out of Shawnee, Oklahoma. And the first batter that Rutland will face is Freddie Landers. On the year pitching, Rutland has a 3.41 ERA. This will be his 29th appearance, and he will throw a strike right down the heart of the plate that Freddie Landers watches go by. Landers is 1-for-3, striking out looking, popping out to third, and then hitting a single. 1 ball, 1 strike. Eventually, Rutland has 11 saves on the year. The 1-1, just missing 2 balls and 1 strike. Only one of Rutland's 28 appearances has been worth more than an inning, as on the year he's thrown 29 total. 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Landers. 348 hitter on the season, so there's no one Missouri Southern would rather have to lead off the bottom of the ninth than Landers. Ball in the dirt, runs the count full. Rutland will get the sign from McWhirter. Wind and deal, and it's ball 4, and Rutland irate at himself for walking the first batter he faces. A rare walk by Josh Rutland. Just the 10th he has given up this year. Batter now will be the right fielder, Troy Gagan, who is 0-for-2. Strikeout swinging in the second, a fly out to right in the fourth. He did draw a walk in the 6th. Rutland channels the fury into that pitch, pumps it in for a strike. However, Rutland, it is worth noting, despite the fact that he has 11 saves, also has a 1-1 record, so he has been a little shaky some points. 0-1 in there, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes on Gagan, and he will come down and talk with head coach Darno about how to attack this 0-2 count. Not being pulled is Darnell. Over at first, you see there Freddie Landers. Landers 6-for-6 in stolen base attempts. The 0-2 swung on and missed. A high fastball, and Gagan can't catch up. It's the first out of the inning here in the bottom of the ninth. Rutland digging deep within himself to get that strikeout. You can see it in here right at the letters. Gagan had to stand way up in his batting stance to even try and sniff a hit, and comes up empty. That's the 33rd strikeout for Rutland. Denver Coffey is the batter now. And watch ball one bounce in the left-hand batter's box. Defense is straight away for Central Oklahoma. The middle infielders, Harrell and Black, set up for a double play. The 1-0 swung on and missed by Coffey. 1-1. Wind blowing directly in from right field. So if Coffey hooks one down the left field line, he could hit one out. The 1-2, 1-1 in there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Coffey gonna have to protect and try and get his second hit of the game. The first coming back in the second inning when he hit a single. Rutland gets the sign from McWhirter. The deal. Swung on and missed. Denver Coffey chases a pitch out of the zone, and back-to-back swinging strikeouts for Josh Rutland sees the Lions down to their final out. Take a look at it one more time, and Coffey, that was a swing of a batter who didn't want to swing but knew that he needed to try and put forth some effort. The batter now is ball sent down the line and left, drifting over to get it as Avila, and he makes the catch to end the game. Josh Rutland comes in and gets the save. The Central Oklahoma Broncos win by a final score of 2-0. We'll take a short break and come back after this with final stats here on the MIAA Network. Welcome back one final time here at Al Ortolani Field for the conclusion of this third game between the number 2 seed Missouri Southern Lions and number 3 seed Central Oklahoma Broncos. Central Oklahoma emerges victorious 2-0. They scored 2 runs on 7 hits, committed no errors, left 7 runners on base. The winning pitcher is Gabe Littlejim. He went 6 innings and gave up no runs. Losing pitcher for the Lions is Will Bausinger. There's the final out of the game off the bat of pinch hitter Caleb Nutting into left field where Taylor Avila made the catch. Getting the save is Josh Rutland. He pitched 1 complete inning and only issued a walk. So that's going to do it for this third game where the Central Oklahoma Broncos beat the Missouri Southern Lions. They will play tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. The latest game on the docket. So, for the rest of our MIAA Network crew, I have been Shelby White. Stay tuned later for Game 4 between Central Missouri and Pittsburgh State. Tune in then, folks.
We've got our heads in the game,
Our minds in the classroom,
our hands in the community,
and our feet ready for the world.
We're a part of the NCAA Division II experience.
Using our skills
at our universities and in our communities. I chose the MIAA.
I chose the MIAA. MIAA, the spirit of our communities.
There are over 480,000 college athletes. Only 2% would go pro. That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs. No private jets. No fan clubs. No Hall of Fame inductions. Instead, they will walk away with something much more valuable.